Got my Alani, since I'm a Alani girly. If your bench press is stuck, your warm-up might be the problem. Most lifters, they're doing way too much, burning themselves out without even noticing it before they hit their working sets. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I warm up to bench heavy weight over 400 pounds. But you can use these principles and this routine no matter what your bench goals are, from 100 pounds, 225, 315, 405, and beyond. It's quick, it's effective, and most importantly, it doesn't wear me out. I use this routine on days that I'm just training, hitting a heavy single, or hitting a PR. Stick around until the end because I'm dropping a bonus tip that most lifters don't even think about. And no, it's not just get fat and bench more, even if there's some truth to that. Here's the thing, your warm-up shouldn't feel like a workout. If you're already huffing and puffing before you get to your first main set, you've probably gone too far. The goal isn't to get exhausted, it's to get dialed in, get your central nervous system ready to go, and ensure you're going to hit your top set that day. I've made every warm-up mistake in the book, and that's why I made this video to show you what actually works. Let's get a quick principle out of the way. You have to ride the line on your fatigue management. You've got to get warm, but not worn out. Personally, I use my Apple Watch and my breathing as indicators. Heart rate going to 140, breathing heavy? If so, then I know to slow down and conserve energy so that I can use that energy for my top sets and working sets later on. I start every bench session the exact same way. First off, we have 3 sets of band pull-aparts, somewhere between 10 and 20 reps, nice and controlled. A lot of that depends how much resistance your band gives you, but on a scale of 1 to 10 of difficulty, I'm aiming for about a 6.5 to a 7, so about 3 to 4 reps left in the tank. And all I'm trying to do here is just get blood into my upper back, my rear delt, not just for the sake of moving my body. That just broke on me. Your rear delts play an important role in the bench press, which I talk about in my other bench press videos. Basically, you just need to use your rear delts to stabilize, press through the bench, and press through the mid-range. If I'm feeling really stiff that day, I might add in some resistance curls or tricep pushdowns with the resistance band, just to get the elbows going and get the blood moving more. But only if something feels off or I'm extra fatigued. I'm about to warm up my triceps a lot in my bench warm-up. And that's it. That's my mobility routine. Nothing fancy, just enough to turn things on in my body. You can, of course, do more with the resistance band. A lot of guys have shoulder injuries and they have to warm up with all sorts of different shoulder exercises. Just watch your fatigue. We're not trying to feel the burn here. Then I hop straight to the barbell. I do about 3 sets of 10 with an empty bar. And this isn't just get warm fluff, it's practicing. Every single rep, I'm dialing in bar path and leg drive. I'm making sure that the bar is landing in the same spot on my chest and the same spot in my vision each rep during these warm-ups. This is also an opportunity to practice my leg drive at each position of the lift. I pause on my chest and then I use leg drive to get it off of my chest. I then pause about 5 seconds in the mid-range. Then I activate my leg drive again to lock out. I'm thinking about pressing the bar with my elbows instead of my hands. And all this is technical rehearsal. It's not cardio. I'm not trying to get worn out. This is all about optimizing your bar path and your mechanical efficiency. If you're treating your warm-ups like a workout and it's gassing you out, you're not leaving anything for your top sets, or you're leaving a lot less gas in your tank than you may even be feeling. Now, let's talk about loading weight. Back in the day, I would just do whatever felt right. Load 135, 225, 275. And I would just keep repping and repping, trying to feel the burn each set. I would do sets of 10, sets of 8, then sets of 5, because that just kind of sounded right. And by the time I hit 315, I've already got a chest pump. I'm feeling good, a little huffy puffy. Not anymore. Now I transition to singles way earlier. By singles, I mean just doing 1 rep. Here's my general structure. I often use kilo plates now instead of the standard American plates. I'd usually go 135 for 10, 275 for 5, 315, 308 for a triple or a double. And then I'm doing singles, right? 352, 385, 408, 440 plus. This is where most people go wrong. They think more warm-ups and more sets and reps equals better performance. But if you're chasing a top single or even a heavy triple, the sooner you switch to singles, the more gas you're gonna have in your tank. My rule of thumb is to start hitting singles around RPE 5. For newbies, that basically means when you're at a weight where you feel like you have about 5 reps in reserve when you're done at that set, that's a good spot to start hitting 1 rep per set in your warm-ups. If my goal that day is to hit a top single around RPE 8, I want to feel things out about 3 steps below that. That gives me time to build pressure and confidence and get my central nervous system warmed up without wearing myself out. You're gonna get more warm than you think if you even just do 1 rep at a time. But don't treat it like a hard rule. Play around with it. Some days you may feel better easing in a little slower. The real key is pay attention to your last 2 warm-ups. If the bar speed is clean and crisp, you're probably good. If it's already slowing down or you don't feel good, you may need to adjust what you thought was gonna be your top single that day. If you're an immediate or an advanced lifter, you know you can't just add 5 pounds every week. So ideally, you go into your top set with a target range in mind. This target range is going to determine what your top set is or your top heavy single is that day. For me, an RPE 8 heavy single on bench press could look like a 20-pound swing, maybe more. For me, if I'm doing an RPE 8 heavy single as my top single I'm doing that day, I have an idea that it's probably between 420 pounds on the low end of my target range and 435 pounds on the upper end of my target range. And that depends on my diet, my sleep, and whether it just feels good that day or doesn't. My last warm-up single is gonna be about 90 to 95% of that lower end of the range. Let's say that's 395 pounds. I record myself hitting 395. If it moves really well, based on how I feel subjectively and how the bar speed looks objectively, if all is good, I will go for the heavy end of that target range, about 435. Maybe I even push it a little bit. If it feels okay, and I feel like 435 would maybe be more like an RPE 8.5 or a 9 that day, maybe I choose something in the middle. Or maybe it didn't move great, even if I feel pretty good. Maybe the bar speed was bad, or maybe I just don't feel good. I'll go for the lower end of the range that day. This is a technique that a lot of powerlifters use, but strongman, Olympic athletes, all sorts of sports take a similar approach. If you're training for a mile, you're not trying to decrease your mile time every single day you run a mile. And if you're not working up to a heavy single, the same logic applies. Let's say you're topping out with a triple at 225 pounds. I would say start doing singles around 165 to 185. The mistake is thinking that your warm-ups have to be high rep. They don't. They just have to be intentional and get warm and feel prepared. You are rehearsing the lift, not testing your endurance. All right, here's that bonus tip that I promised. And actually, as I'm literally recording and writing the script right now, I've got a second bonus tip in mind, so thanks for sticking around. First, yeah, getting fat definitely helps your bench press. That's the big tip, mass moves mass. Just kidding, kind of. I get a lot of comments saying I'm fat and obese. It totally doesn't bother me. The real tip is this: start tracking your last warm-up set every session the same way you track your main exercises. What do I mean by this? That's the weight you hit right before your top set. In the scenario I gave earlier, that was my 395-pound attempt. Log that RPE in your journal. Take a video. Watch that bar speed, because that number tells you the truth about your progress. PRs are definitely nice, but your last warm-up set, that's more of your trend line. If that set starts moving faster and faster each week or decreases in RPE, that's a pretty good indication that what you're doing is working and you're getting stronger. The floor feels easier, if that makes sense. Your top set may not move much week to week. And if you do this, you're gonna have a pretty good idea going into your session what your top warm-up should be, not having to play a guessing game. Track that last warm-up single like it's a main lift that you're tracking. Okay, here's the second bonus tip. I literally just watched a video by Jen Thompson. She's a world record bench press holder. She benches 315 with essentially a flat back, and she's all natural. So she's good. She knows her shit, right? This may be more of an advanced technique for intermediate and advanced lifters compared to novice lifters, but she suggests doing heavy holds before doing your top set. Pick a weight that's above your target set, maybe even above your PR, and hold it for 10 to 15 seconds at the lockout position. This is going to prep your central nervous system even more. And since our bodies are kind of weird, it's going to make your top set or single feel even better compared to if you didn't, because now you're comparing it to that heavy weight you just felt in your hands. I personally haven't used this that much because to me that's like holding 500 pounds and I'm just not mentally there yet, but it's definitely something worth to try, and I'm going to try it personally and I'm going to report back to you all. To wrap it all up, warm up just enough to activate, not exhaust yourself. Drill your technique with the empty bar. That's your skill work. Transition to singles earlier than you think and save your energy for the lifts that matter. Watch those final warm-ups like a hawk. If this video helped you, check out my last bench press video on how I added 70 pounds to my bench this year. It breaks down the whole approach that made this warm-up even more effective. If you like this content, give me a like and consider subscribing for more. Leave a comment for what has helped your bench press warm-up routine. Do you agree with my approach? Do you disagree? And before you say much about injury or risk, give my video all about pain a watch. Thanks for watching. Let me know how your next bench press session goes. I really hope this helps. Till next time, bench smart.